All right, let's take you back to FNB Stadium, where the ANC is holding a session for its councillors in an effort to accelerate service delivery. Our reporter, SABC News reporter Natasha Phiri, standing by. Good afternoon again, Natasha. I believe at this moment you're actually joined by Water and Sanitation Minister Pemmy Majodina, of course, in her capacity as NEC member. It's over to you.
Definitely, Mfundo. Not only is she here, we're also joined by her deputy, Mr. David Mahlobo, and the deputy mayor, of course, of Tshwane, Mr. Eugene Bonzo. But of course, today they are wearing ANC hats. If I'll just ask Ma'am Pemmy Majodina just to come closer, so we can talk about a number of issues. Ma'am, this past weekend, the issue of water boards and the high exorbitant payouts have been dominating, the headlines. I know you've said that in your capacity as Minister of Water and Sanitation, you will be having a briefing, but perhaps if you can tell us and the viewers of SABC News what the issue actually is. Are you going to be calling these water boards to order? Will heads roll?
Thank you very much, Natasha. Let me explain that that article, there's a lot of inconsistency in that article. There is no one that is pocketing 100,000 going home. There is no such. The boards, they get paid or claim per meeting that they sit, but also if they are deployed somewhere attending a summit or a conference, they do claim. So there's a lot of once of a press conference to clarify each and every aspect on that Sunday Times. It is not a true reflection of what is happening in the port. The boards, there is a framework that comes from the department through the minister to say you and regulate meetings, but the board apply if they want extra meetings. So there is nothing untowards. It's just that that matter was blown out of proportion, because you'll find that one person who is who did not claim in the past 3 meetings, then he gets his payment for the past 3 meetings, then is regarded as one sitting. There is no such.
Okay, you're telling us that there's no such, but you can't ignore the fact that there are municipalities that are really struggling with water. Last week we saw those protests in Westbury, Coronationville, Ebony Park. How do you respond to such? Yes, there's certain interventions, medium-term interventions that you have put through. But I mean, for a person who's watching from Westbury who says, I haven't had water for 2 weeks, what do you say to them? We know that the issues of, water resource management and governance issues within water boards are actually, an impediment to such issues of water.
I don't agree. I don't agree with you, Natasha. We have water boards that get assessed. We have the AG's report, which has pointed on some of the issues, and there is a clear plan on how to attend to such issues. But
how are you dealing with those issues?
No. The woes that have been raised around water, they don't reflect on the state of the boards. The boards are responsible for bulk supply. Unless you want to tell me now, Natasha, that you have another information that I don't have, that there is no bulk supply by water board A as expected. And I will not agree with you, because I know municipalities, the water boards are pumping water to municipalities. What I've been saying, and I will still say today and tomorrow, is that let's deal with reticulation. Let's deal with the provision of water. And that is outside the water boards. Instead, what I'm going to do now is to appoint these water boards to go and assist municipalities, because they have the technical capacity. Where we are funding projects that are incomplete for the past 10 years, there's no way that you can give municipality that money any longer. What you are doing now, we're going to bring our water boards with the technical capacity. Last night, I was with Rand Water and City of Johannesburg to say this is the capacity that we can assist you with. So we are assisting the boards.
And the issue of infrastructure, just briefly before we bring just an ordinary councillor into the picture?
Yes, the infrastructure, which is municipalities, and is a decaying infrastructure. But out of the reports that I have tabled here, the MIG funding is taken back to National Treasury. That is why we want to come in and assist them. It is not out of their making that they have this aging infrastructure, because they inherited it. So we are assisting them and say, how do you change? That is why we fund them with the regional infrastructure bulk, so that they can be able to deal with the infrastructure.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Before I just get an ordinary councillor, I'll just bring them into the frame. Let me just quickly get the sentiments here of the Deputy Mayor of Tshwane, Mr. Eugene Bonzo. You're going to receive your marching orders as the Deputy Mayor of Tshwane. What are your expectations coming out of this? And what should be done to councillors who don't perform in municipalities?
Oh, thank you very much. Let me exploit this opportunity by detailing what the national government has done for us, led by the African National Congress, in particular in Hammanskraal. They invested 2 billion rand and they are monitoring the process. In the process, they have included Magali's Water to champion that water treatment plant. But we can safely say now, without a shade of doubt, that we are on track. Over the weekend, the Deputy Minister have established a committee wherein I'm sitting. We are getting reports day in, day out without fail in the morning.
Thank you so much for your time. Of course, let's just take this conversation to, I think, Ubab Anderson. I can't pronounce your surname. Please forgive me for that.
Mudunungu.
And he comes all the way from Limpopo. So you've also come here, to the ANC roll call event. I think what your expectations as a councillor coming out here, you're going to be given marching orders by President Cyril Ramaphosa. But I mean, the argument is that why should this event only come now? Because the elections next year, and the sentiment is that is the ANC using this as a machine or as a tool to actually garner, support for local government elections next year?
No, it's not about elections. It's about our people. The ethos of renewal is not only for the ANC. Renewal also has to culminate in better services and better service provision for our people in government. And we have got to concentrate on government because it is the only tool that can make a difference in terms of bettering the lives of our people.
And of course, local government, councillors are at the cold face of service delivery, But you find that there's this disconnect between councillors and between the people of the ground, whereas councillors are actually supposed to, be living amongst, the community members. They know the issues at heart. But why do you find that there are councillors who can't even implement, who can't even fix basic service delivery issues?
The councillors, like we've gathered here, is to remind each other that the people come first. And every councillor must be dedicated to service to the people. And that is why we are here as the African National Congress. We are getting marching orders so that each and every one of us redouble efforts of service delivery wherever we are. Because the problems that have been there can be solved. But that is why we are here to say all of us must be hands on the deck and deliver services for our people. Uppermost, the problems that we find across the board are water.
Yes.
And we are going to zero into that one. And that is why the leadership is driving it to say that give people water, give people roads, give people electricity and jobs as well. Because municipalities are the generators of economic development. Without the municipalities, there can never be economic development because every corporation is rooted in a municipal space. Yes.
Thank you so much. I need to cut you and, of course, toss back to studio. Well, Mfundo, a big focus there on water and the provision of water services. And, of course, we heard there from the Minister of Water and Sanitation talking about issues of the water boards, refuting that article. Of course, Mr. Bonzo also reflecting on the work that is actually happening in Tshwane, more specifically in Hammanskraal. And, of course, Ubab Anderson, who hails all the way from Limpopo, saying that they're here to receive their marching orders, but they should not be a disconnect between ANC councillors and those in their communities. With that said, it's back to you in studio.
All right, Natasha, thank you very much for that update. Any moment now, we'll take you back to the FNB Stadium where ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula will unveil that service delivery and infrastructure action plan. And beyond that, that's when councillors will be given their marching orders.